funny enough, with COVID, we're all working from home, and just as I'm about to click play, my neighbor decides to rev up a chainsaw. So you hear some background noise. That's what it is. so we're going to get started. So welcome to our ListGlobal webinar presentation today. We're going to be talking about the state of the luxury market in North America and looking at some key market trends in U.S. real estate. Despite COVID, it's an exciting time to be in real estate, and we're all looking forward to having a conversation about your experiences today. The whole presentation will last under 30 minutes, including question and answers or questions and discussion period at the end. So let's begin. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Byron Burley. I am the president of North America for ListGlobal, and I've been with the company since 2018. Prior to this, I was head of North America for JUY, the Chinese International Property Portal. Over the last 6 months, our team have noticed a surprising number of agents mentioning the resilience of their local markets. And we've seen an uptick in interest from consumers that are looking at luxury properties. And we've also we've decided this topic to act today. About ListGlobal. ListGlobal has been around for 9 years. We operate the largest global network of property portals in the world, and we work with most major real estate companies in North America. We've published more than 1.6 million listings from 60 countries on over 100 property portals. And we reach a consumer audience of over 150 million consumers monthly. You're part of this presentation today because we are with you in some way or another, either through your MLS, your CRM, or through your brand. We likely have your listings, and you likely have a ListGlobal account already if you are affiliated with us. The reason you work with us the reason that we're affiliated with these brands is because we provide a global marketing strategy for your listings, providing you access to millions of international consumers that are looking for properties monthly. And we help differentiate your service offering to show your clients that you have a strong marketing strategy to push their listings. So what is influencing the real estate market in 2021? The recent U.S. elections, for some, there was a renewed optimism with the recent outcome of the elections in the U.S. The general assumptions are that things were going to start to get better between intercountry relations and that things would normalize, and which would lead to more consumers having confidence in purchasing abroad. We would love to hear what you're seeing in your markets. If you've got if you've had an uptick in interest from international buyers, or at least them inquiring to your listings, we'd love to hear what you're seeing. There is a comment section through the chat here that you can post your comments, and we can address those. COVID-19 has been a major impact for all of us in the world. We're all learning. It's been a new experience, and we're all learning how to deal with it. The lockdowns have made everything a challenge. People to working from home all or most of the time. Despite the restrictions, the real estate market in many major urban centers has flourished in 2020. And at ListGlobal, we've seen an increase in the number of listings that are being published, and those listings are coming down and off the market quicker. So real estate is hot in a lot of places. Changing work environments, we've all gotten a little bit less formal. Zoom meetings are replacing the boardroom, and it's becoming a reality of life that you're sharing your office space with family, friends, or family pets that are running around, and your neighbors who are using chainsaws just outside your house. Fortunately, working from home has cut back on commute times greatly, allowing many parents to spend more time with their families, for better or for worse. Mental health. Mental health is a big topic as well, which ties directly into COVID. It's been a common topic this year, especially in North America, as we enter into the 12th month of pandemic measures. People, what we're seeing is that people are actually leaving the urban life and heading out to a simpler existence out in suburban and rural country. And we'd love to hear what you're seeing as well, if you have clients that are picking up from the big city and moving out to the suburbs. Changes in consumer behavior. As millennials enter the housing market in greater numbers, they're approaching it in a much different way than we have in past generations. Technology is playing a big part of millennial house hunting journey, with the generation turning to mobile devices to search view properties and communicate with real estate agents. The evolving world of luxury in North America. While the rest of the world is speculating how markets will recover in 2021, it appears that luxury markets are doing quite well in these times and are expected to continue to do so. Both UBS and PricewaterhouseCoopers reports that the wealth of the world's 500 richest people has risen significantly. So the rich continue to get richer. Limited inventory of move-in ready homes has forced prices up, and high-end homeowners who for years have rented out their investment properties are now putting them on the market because they know that they can command top dollar. Properties are just selling. So the drivers, what's driving this luxury market up? A surging financial market and appreciation of luxury real estate values. The whole work-life balance may have been a trend that was cemented by the pandemic in 2020, but this initial trend has long been in the making. People recognize the need to de-stress their lives. As we move into 2021, or we're here now, there is an expectation that this will be a lasting trend, and that suburban, rural, and resort communities will actually be the beneficiaries of this mass exodus from the big city. The trend for multifunctional open space living has now been replaced with adapting the home to create more private and quiet spaces as we work, exercise, and entertain in our home environments. At ListGlobally, we are an international network of property portals. So we work with foreign buyers that are looking at properties in the United States. Before we dig into what we're looking at in cities for luxury homes and selling that are selling like hotcakes, we can take a look at data from foreign buyers in general. Foreign buyers that are looking at properties in the United States, on average, spend $40,000 more than U.S. residents in domestic U.S. residents in 2020. Chinese investment in the United States slowed in 2020, but Canadian investment increased from $31 billion to $108 billion in 2020. Foreign interest for real estate in Florida and California were both led by Canadians. Scrolling. Just a bit of discussion about ListGlobally and influencing the influences of the U.S. market and the luxury market. We'd love to hear if you are what you're seeing in your markets. If you're seeing an increased interest in consumers looking for luxury property, we would love to hear what you're seeing. You can type that into the chat above. We thought it would be interesting to look at a few key markets outside of the typical markets of LA and Los Angeles. Austin, Texas is really picking up as a market. Elon Musk and Tesla and others, large groups from Silicon Valley like Google, are diversifying, leaving California for Austin, Texas. Buyers are moving to Austin suburbs to adapt to the new work from home culture. And with the steady influx of job creation in the pipeline, the housing market will continue to post strong numbers well into 2021. Home sales across Austin Round Rock MSA are up by 16.2% year over year, and sales dollar volumes increased by a whopping 41.1% to $1.78 billion, an all-time record. The Metro Luxury Index for January 2020 shows that the yearly change in luxury properties in Austin Round Rock is up by 6.16%. Austin's really picking up. Texas as a whole, we wanted to look at our consumer data at ListGlobally and where consumers from overseas are looking for properties. And Texas is a key market for us. Out of all luxury property leads ListGlobally received in 2020, 26.6% of those leads were for luxury properties in Texas, and those consumers came from the UK. We're seeing that an average of 35.2% of all searches for properties in Texas are for luxury properties. Tampa is another market that we wanted to touch on. The luxury real estate market in both Tampa Bay and Florida as a whole is just one major example of how industries that rely on people with disposable income have been flourishing during the pandemic. More than 90% of economists and real estate experts surveyed by the Tampa Bay Times last year expected the Tampa real estate market to meet or exceed the performance of the national housing market this year. The housing market in Tampa Bay, St. Petersburg, Clearwater is forecast to be one of the most active real estate markets in 2021, expecting a price jump of 8.7%. Steady job growth and a diversified economic base are responsible for this elevation in interest. Florida as a whole, we have peaks and valleys here. The average percentage of luxury searches for property in Florida is 14.8%. So out of all searches for property in Florida from our foreign buyers, 14.8% of those consumers are looking for luxury property. 94% of consumers inquiring to properties in Florida are from the UAE. We're looking for luxury properties. We thought this was a really interesting stat. So people from the United Arab Emirates are not interested in cheap properties, they want luxury. And 94% of the consumers that inquired were looking for just that. We thought it'd be interesting to also pull some general information about foreign buyer interest in New York's luxury real estate market. Lower interest in January is common with people coming out of Christmas. So we're seeing, as you can see there, January 2020, that the lower interest. Generally, interest picks up in the spring. COVID really impacted that and tempered interest in 2020. June, when COVID measures were in full swing and people realized that this was not going to be a quick pandemic, interest picked up greatly online for local investment options. And fall, with the return of high COVID numbers, saw the lockdown of interest again. So there were peaks and valleys that kind of coincided with the COVID measures. It's the same thing with California. We started out in January with lower interest, and that's pretty typical in January because people were worrying about their credit card debt from buying Christmas presents. And then February, things started to pick up for the spring season. March, things picked up really well, and then COVID measures came in at the end of March, and boom, you're down in April. People aren't sure what's going on. Throughout May, June, July, things kind of leveled out because of everybody realized that they're not going back to work and they've got some time in front of the computer, so you might as well look for some properties. September, we had the fall wave of COVID, which saw further lockdowns and restrictions, and then things picked up again in October. It's been quite a teeter-totter year for interest in properties in general. Luxury listings in North America. So at ListGlobally, we publish, like I said, 1.6 million listings at a time across a global network of property portals. And we wanted to just look at a few key markets of where we see the most number of luxury listings. California is our top market. We have about 40% of our luxury listings on ListGlobally are from California. 15% or so is from New York, Connecticut, Colorado, and New Jersey. An interesting one that I saw in here was in our data when we were pulling this information was Idaho. It was surprising that there were so many luxury properties from Idaho, but it's a state that's picking up, I guess, because of the solitude and the mental clarity it gives you when you're out in the mountains. So it's interesting to see. Foreign buyer interest in the US in general. So when we look at where are foreign buyers looking from, this is for all data. So this isn't just specific to luxury properties, it's for all listings. We thought this would be interesting to show you because it just kind of goes with what we would typically expect. New York accounts for 12.5% of all consumer interest. Florida is closer to 30%. Texas is doing well with 9% of interest. And then California is another big ticket state with 25% of all interest we have for properties in the United States are consumers looking at California. Want to bring up ListGlobally in general. So we have recently launched a new luxury network with ListGlobally. So we've had a dedicated network of property portals for the promotion of all properties for quite a long time. We've been in business for 9 years. And in the last year, we have just created a new dedicated network specifically for luxury listings. So this is listings priced over $1.5 million in Canada and over $1.2 million US dollars in the United States. Luxury is available to you as an agent if you're connected to ListGlobally through your brand affiliation or your MLS or CRM. You can access ListGlobal's luxury network through your My ListGlobal dashboard. It's an interesting network because we've gone out and we have teamed up with key luxury portals in markets around the world, like France, of course, the United States, and others, in order to make sure that your listings are being seen by the right consumers that are looking at other big ticket items like luxury cars and yachts and other things like that. To name a few of the portals that we have included in our luxury network, there's Properties Le Figaro, Lux Residence, James Edition, Mansion Global. A few key mentions with James Edition: it's a luxury marketplace to help you find new and pre-owned luxury items. Explore over 200,000 luxury listings, homes, cars, yachts, and private jets for sale in over 120 countries. So if you're looking for a luxury home or you're looking for your private jet, James Edition is in our network. Lux Residence is another portal in our network. They are a French portal, and it's luxury real estate for sale with Lux Residence properties, private mansions, lofts, apartments, castles, and other lands. ListGlobal's luxury network. So our typical cost is $99 per month per listing. So we work with these portals, and they all require payment. So we've worked with them to partner and say, what can we get if we group these portals together? What's the lowest price we can go with? And we've done that and packaged it in a way that makes it affordable for you as an agent out there. $99 is the rack rate price. So it's $99 per listing per month. So accessing ListGlobal, that's the price. Typically, we have a special offer for those that are participating in the webinar today, providing you access to the luxury network for considerably less. With a special coupon that we'll provide to you in an email following this webinar, you will save $49 per listing that you choose to publish on the luxury network. So for only $50, you can access the top luxury portals in the world to feature your listings. Again, we'll have an email over to you following this webinar. That's where we're leaving it off. I would love to hear from anybody in the comments, and if there are questions, and we will have an email out to you very shortly after this webinar to give you access to the coupon. Thank you very much for your time.